How to buy a new bike now? $36,000, bros.
I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough as
So right now, let's head into the showroom. But where's the R9? I don't see there's any R9 here. Sorry, can I check, is R9 here? So disappointed. Let's try other bike shop. R9 is not here. R9, no, I don't see there's any R9. Any R9 here? No. Cracking my head. Where to find the R9? No, the R9 is not here. Well, where can I go now? I'm so lost. I still haven't seen the R9 in person. Well, really disappointed. Let's try the last bike shop. Yeah, this is the place. Let's try my luck. Ooh, sounds nice, bro. That's a M235i. Sounds nice. Yes, that's the R9. Ooh. So this is the winglet. It looks very cool, but this is matte gloss. So I believe they only have like black right now, and the tank looks really huge. But the overall style looks like the R6 and the R1. Yeah. Same goes to the tail light. And this is the CP3 engine, which is the same as the MT-09. Frame is about the same, tail section is about the same, swing arm is about the same, just that the tail fairing, the tank, and the fairings, and the head crown is different. Rims is neither from the MT-09. Brembo brake caliper, if I'm not wrong, it's really fitted with the stainless steel brake hose. Yeah. And also the Brembo master cylinder. So initially, when I first saw the tail section, it looks really weird. It's very different from the R6 and the R1, where there's a cover over here. So it looks like, you know, Yamaha has removed the, you know, the curvy cover. And this is the damping adjustment for the shock. It's nice to have, you know, if you're riding on a track, you can just use your left hand to adjust the damping without having the tool to adjust your suspension. So the tire that is fitted on, I think it's RS11. Well, it's nice to have the, you know, so-called track tires on the factory bike. And this tire is definitely grippier than the S23. And this rear fender, it still looks very bulky. So I'm sure most of the rider will just remove this rear fender and then install the tail tidy. And the shape of the rear section, it looks very nice. It's very sharp, you know, at the end of the tail. So let's mount onto the bike and show you guys how tall the seat height is. So the seat height, it felt pretty much like the R6 and the older R1, like my 2014 Yamaha R1, but it's definitely lower than the newer R1, because if I were to sit on the newer R1, I'll be tiptoeing at this position. So right now I'm able to reach the ground with my toe and also the ball of my feet. Riding posture is about the same as my R1 also, but it's not as aggressive as the R6 or the newer R1. So I'm sure riding this R9 is not very uncomfortable. Actually, the weight of the bike, it felt pretty light. It feels pretty much the same as the R6. So probably it weighs around 180 over kg. Unlike my R1, it weighs about 206 kg, which is pretty heavy. So with such a light bike, I'm sure it's easier to flip the bike when you guys are cornering the bike. And the tank, it looks really huge. So the top 333, it looks very nice with all the holes. And this is the suspension adjustment from KYB. Actually, the feel is quite similar with the R7, R1, and there's vents on the tank cover, riding modes, and this is the buttons to toggle the screen, and there's a cruise control, which is pretty nice. And there's a key here. I'm not sure whether they allowed me to start the bike in this indoor showroom. So I'll try to find the sound clip of the Yamaha R9 for you guys. So if you are able to ride an R6 or an R1, this R9 is definitely suitable for you based on the seat height and also the riding posture. Okay, let's get off the bike. And the lower part of the fairing is only until this area. It's not extended all the way to the engine area, or just like the R6 all the way to the back to the rear tire. And from what I know, the cost is about $35,000 to $36,000 on the road. So because this bike is using the MT-09 CP3 engine, so there's 3-cylinder. This is the header of the exhaust, and this is the muffler, and then the opening is right over here. Actually, from this angle it looks very nice, especially the tail section. And also the tire valve that came with the bike is actually the L valve, so it's easier for us to inflate the tires. And even the rear brake pump is also from Brembo. Wow. And this is a very nice brake reservoir. Same goes to the front. And this is the winglet. Not that bad. But the front end, it looks kind of bulky. Even the tank looks pretty big. Thanks, bro. Okay. Well, the cost price on the road is about $35,000 to $36,000, including the current COE at about $9,000. $35,000. Damn. In the past, an R6 only cost about $26,000, and the bike was so cheap back then. How to buy a new bike now? $36,000, bros. But to be honest, in person, the R9, it looks really awesome. Although in Singapore there's only matte black and also the Yamaha blue, it doesn't have the red and white color scheme. I'm not sure why they are not bringing in the red and white color scheme. So what you guys are seeing earlier on is the matte black. It's a mixture of matte black and gloss black. So for those who like black, probably this is the color choice for you guys. But for me, if I'm buying this Yamaha R9, probably I'll get a white red. But Yamaha Singapore, they don't bring in the white red variant, which looks kind of nice. For the Yamaha R9, if you are seeing it on the picture and also in person, it's a totally different kind of feel. Especially the front end, it looks very, you know, bulky and huge. And the winglet, it looks pretty nice, but I'm not sure. Some of you sure don't like it. But the headlight and the front end, the overall feel, it just feels very, you know, weird. It's very hard to describe. And also, the bike shop doesn't allow riders to test ride, you know, their bikes. So I have no chance to ride the Yamaha R9. So for those of you who have bought the Yamaha R9, if you are okay for me to test ride your Yamaha R9, do DM me on my IG, or you know, just comment down below. Let's arrange a meetup, or any bike shop that's watching this video, you know, if you guys are okay for me to ride your Yamaha R9 to get a feel. I really wish, you know, to try out the Yamaha R9 one day. So today I have went a lot of bike shops, and most of the bike shops has ran out of stock. Earlier on, that's the only bike shop that has the Yamaha R9, and I'm so lucky to witness, to see the Yamaha R9 in person. So with a price tag of $35,000 to $36,000 on the road, including the COE, to be honest, nowadays not very expensive, because the newer Yamaha R1 and the CBR 1000 RRR, it costs around $60,000 to $70,000. The cost of the Yamaha R9 is almost half the price, so it's considered pretty cheap for the class 2 bikes. So actually owning a vehicle in Singapore is very expensive, be it a bike or a car. Especially for bike, there's a ARF, there's a COE, and also all other taxes is included. So basically, the bike itself, it only costs about, you know, $10,000, just because of the miscellaneous costs. They jack up the price to, you know, 20k, 30k, and even, you know, 60 to 70k. Although the Yamaha R9 is actually the sport version of the MT-09, just that with clip-ons, handlebar, fairings, you don't really felt like it's a street bike. So when I sat on it, put my hands on the handlebar, it feels like a sports bike. So there's no, you know, street bike feels anymore. Right now for the Yamaha R9, is still pretty new in the market, especially in Singapore. There's no legal exhaust available for this bike. So meanwhile, you guys have to stick to the stock exhaust, which is kind of ugly, I would say. It's just located at the bottom of the bike. Alright guys, so that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really glad that I'm able to see the R9 in person today, and hopefully one day I'm able to test ride the Yamaha R9. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Ride safe and bye!
I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough as